then he's not over there anymore. And I understand the language when we use it, I understand what we mean, and I'm not trying to say, but I want to get in your minds how God works, how God does his stuff. See, God works in circles. He says, I am the beginning and the end, all at the same time. I'm the Alpha and the Omega. I'm the first and the last, all at the same time. See, we don't understand that because why? His ways are higher than what? Our ways. See, but that's how God works. See, God doesn't move throughout the church. That's what we think a lot of times. God, all the anointing will go over on this church. And man, God's using this church. And then later on, he's going to go over here. The church moves in God. Amen. That's how it works. God doesn't move. God is everything. Because if God left one place, that place would cease to exist because that whole place that was there is predicated upon him being in that place. Do you understand what I'm saying? Okay. See, God works in circles. The Bible says this. Hebrews says that all the works that he did are finished. God is at rest. Think about that. God is not working. God is resting. And he said it rested on the seventh day, and it never records of him working again. Because he doesn't work in time. See, we don't understand it. But God is at rest. Because God, Hebrews says that every work that he will ever do is finished. It's like Jesus prays in John 17. He said when Jesus would go in the Garden of Gethsemane, he would get out of time and get up with God. And he would get in the room with God. And what does he say in John? Take me back to the glory I had from the foundations of the world. See, Jesus went all the way back that way. And he's saying, take me back to glory. And he starts talking about the cross. And he ain't not on the cross yet. But he has, because he's not in time. Do you understand what I'm saying? Y'all look at me like, I'm talking a different way. But that's how God works. See, we try to read the Bible with a natural mind. And you know what the Bible says? The spiritual things are foolishness to the natural man. That's why you got to ask God, I know I've got mindsets. I know I've got certain preconceived ideas about you. See, when you're a little kid, and you heard about the tabernacle. What did you think about it? First of all, you probably think, oh, that is boring. I don't want to read that. You know? And now, in this stage of your life, God is trying to open your eyes up. That is where the richest revelation of the entire Bible is. Listen, the whole tabernacle points to you. Every piece of furniture, every measurement, every little thing points to Jesus. God does not just say stuff to fill up the page. He doesn't just say, well, it's got to be 66 books long, so I better just wait it from there. No, it is divinely architected. And listen, this is the book that sits on your shelf every day of your life. And if you will just get in there and get ready to do it, you've got certain laws, y'all. And there's a law called the law of first mention. You've learned, and you see the tree of life in Genesis, right? You find out about it again in Ezekiel 47, and then you see it again in Revelation, right? See, it goes through the whole Bible. It doesn't just stop being. It goes through the whole Bible because God wouldn't say that without it having a purpose. Okay, the law of first mention. When God first mentions something, see, it's like this. You know, the Bible talks about candlesticks in Exodus, building the tabernacle, right? And then we get over Revelations, and what does John say? I see one standing in the middle of candlesticks. We read that, man, that's a great candlestick. We don't know what that means, but man, that's great, a candlestick. But you've got to understand that he was referring to the heavenly tabernacle, like Hebrews just told us about, that there's an earthly tabernacle, what Moses was saying, and now there's a heavenly tabernacle. And I'm fixing to tie that in a minute. But you've got the law of first mention. When God mentions something, it is the whole way. And then you've got the law of progressive revelation. God, I want you to get this. When God mentions something, as it goes through the Bible, it picks up new definition. Not changed definition, but additional definition. You understand? For I speak in parables, right? If God talked in parables, God didn't talk in parables because He knew, He wanted the people to know what He was saying. If that was the case, He would have just told them straight up, right? But He wants us to get into it and pursue after Him. Do you understand what I'm saying? For instance, alright, Adam fell out of the garden. What did God do? God put a cherubim. Everybody know what a cherubim is? An angel? God put a cherubim in front of that gate with a flaming sword to guard the presence of God, to guard perfection, to guard where His manifest glory is. Okay? And if man got kicked out of the presence of God. You know, we read that like, man, flaming swords and angels, man, that's so cool, but we don't know what it means. Alright, later on down the road, you get to Leviticus and Exodus, and God says, He's telling Moses, when Moses is setting up the tabernacle, He says, when you make the veil that goes into the Holy of Holies, when you make the veil that guards the glory of God, that guards the presence of God, He says, I want you to sew a cherubim in the middle of that veil. That's what it says. I want you to sew a cherubim in the middle of that. We read that, we're like, man, that's cool, but I don't know what that means. So when Jesus comes and He tears that veil, that same cherubim that is on that veil is getting torn away, that represents the angel that is guarding the presence of God. And He tore that veil. Now He's saying, what? You have access back into the presence of God. That's what Jesus did.